start the second quarter, as they've got it with a third down coming up. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. From the gun on third down, Wilson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Okay, after those first 2 drives, I think there's a head coach who's going to be calling for CSI. They're going to want some forensics on this. What is going on with this ball club? Unable to hold on to the football and take care of it.
Yeah, 2 straight fumbles for them to start out.
Yeah, you would think that this team would come in ready to go. Sometimes just mentally not prepared, and it shows up in these types of plays.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now we give up the middle to Williams. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Javonte Williams with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Well, pardon me, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Lutz with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Another go-around now for the Jets offense. And job 1 here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. And the pressure gets there. He'll go down. It's a sack. And it is going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. There's Wilson to throw. This pass out wide to Hall. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 4. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Running left, it's Hall. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
Well, I think it's back to the drawing board, or should I say in today's game, the Surface tablet after this drive. 3 plays, they go backwards. They look like they've gotten something going right there, but they'll have to punt the football away to end this one.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Here's Smith to return it. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. And Denver getting set to take the field. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would upset all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see them take the dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
That's evidence of why you spend a high draft pick on a receiver, isn't it, Charles?
It certainly is. His ability to make plays like that, and we've seen flashes of it from him so far in his rookie season. But also, it opens things up for the rest of the offense because they have to bring their attention to him as well.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Off the draw, here's Williams. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. Credit the tackle to John Franklin Myers. Defense simply not fooled by the draw there.
Well, they were thinking run to begin with, and what they tell their defensive linemen is play the run on your way to the quarterback. If someone shows, go get him, and that's exactly what they did.
Final play of the half, it's Wilson. Quickly into the hands of Mims. And the Broncos are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll begin up at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. And that's been a back-and-forth game, all tied in the second quarter. Next, we head off to check out another game. And you can see, currently they trail in that ball game. Joe Burrow with 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, we head to Southern California to check on the Rams at home at SoFi Stadium. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. A.J. Brown, a touchdown catch from Jalen Hurts. In the first half, we saw a strong performance out of the veteran quarterback, Russell Wilson. He's got a touchdown pass on the ledger as his guys were able to build a double-digit lead. These two teams making their final adjustments before coming out for the second half. And for the call, we go back out to Denver and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
On the return, Tremont Smith. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Tremont Smith. And all the way home for a Broncos score. That'll go down as a 99-yard kick return. And the Broncos take a 3-touchdown lead. The people still trying to get back to their seats from the concession stand here at the start of the third quarter, and boom, we got points on the board.
And you just identified why the bulk of stadiums have increased presence in the concession areas, right? TVs, loudspeakers, so people can still follow the game. And right now, they're bummed out that they missed that big return to start this half.
What's good on the extra point, and it's now 21-0. So let's try this again. After the kick return, TD, here's yet another kickoff. And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown, as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. Second half starts with a run by Hall. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Well, we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they can...
Pressure comes and Wilson's going to go down. but Singleton in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Well, this is where the mile-high air really starts to affect an opposing offense. Guys moving a bit slowly here. It's 3rd and long. They'll set up the screen for Hall. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. That's returnable now for Smith. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. So here are the Broncos to take over on offense. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and rake it and lock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. 43 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Denver has a first down on the 15-yard play.
That's what we were hoping to see out of Williams last season before a torn ACL 4 weeks in ruined expectations that he could join the top tier of NFL running backs. That type of upside remains, though, and Denver certainly prepared to help him unlock it as he returns to full strength.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Good gain there on first down. And keeps him in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, Broncos. Marvin Mims with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Broncos are well on their way to a 5-0 start as they extend their lead.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. 5 plays there on that drive, and it ends with a Denver touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. And New York set to take the field. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. To throw is Wilson. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Randy Gregory able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. Taken right around the 44. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. 70 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they got themselves a 1st down. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
They run it again with Williams. Pushing through the contact. And the Broncos are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as strong running gets him to the 9-yard line. Now a timeout called for by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Only a yard that time. 2nd and goal. So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
But they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way. But the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So
It's week 6 of the National Football League, and we'll see Isaiah Pacheco. He was steady for him on the ground a week ago, reaching the century mark and adding a score. It's the Chiefs and the Broncos on Thursday night.
From one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Straight ahead, it's a matchup of unbeatens, as it'll be the Denver Broncos taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Hello again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Chiefs ball club. They've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, we're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should, and what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. From his end zone, here's Tremont Smith. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. He might take this all the way. He will take this all the way. Touchdown, Broncos.
Well, he made the right choice by result, but a little bit surprising because now with touchbacks coming back to the 25 instead of the 20, when guys fielded that deep in the end zone, I think most coaches want them to take a knee.
Yeah, it's resulted in more kneel downs. Not right there. Will Lutz on for the point after. And he's got it. 7-0 Broncos. So how about that for an intriguing start? The opening kickoff of the ball game, return for a touchdown. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So here come the defending champs, led out by the reigning MVP of the National Football League, a 2-time winner now in Patrick Mahomes.
There's nothing the league's best quarterback didn't achieve last season. Super Bowl trophy? Check. MVP award? Check. League leader in yards and touchdowns? Check. How does he top the season he had last year? I don't know. But Patrick Mahomes, he usually finds a way.
First play, Mahomes looking to throw it. That'll be caught. It's Tony. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 16 yards on the game's first play and a quick first down.
Tony's Giants tenure lasted less than a season and a half, but KC dealt for the former first-rounder because they feel they can unlock his potential. And he looked pretty good there getting the first down.
Mahomes' throw here complete to Kelsey. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be second down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Now it's Mahomes again. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Josie Jewell, the linebacker, getting the sack.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. They'll get it forward to him on the touch pass. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Throwing is Mahomes on third. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now fourth down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
Fourth down, so Kansas City sends out Tommy Townsend. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. Bringing them out is the 12th-year pro seeking a return to Pro Bowl form, Russell Wilson.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
So first and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their own 27. Throwing to start the drive. Wilson. Man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a first and 10. Now the third-year man back and healthy. It's Javonte Williams. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. That one good for 13 at a Denver first down. So they go pass, now they go run, and 2 plays resulting in really nice pickups.
Certainly sounds like a 50-50 deal, doesn't it? Sounds like great balance. Well, you know what all those coaches have told us over the years, Brandon, that balance is? It means doing what you want to when you want to. That play calling is working very well for them right now.
On first down, Wilson. And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted. Well, CD, you see some of the injuries that have popped up for this franchise, and obviously hoping to get these guys back sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and these guys, they've been hearing the mantra next man up since their Friday night light games in high school. There's 3 simple words, but they're absolutely perfect to use, and everyone has adopted them. Next guy up, do your best.
Now Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down. So this game of ours, Charles, you know, the talk of the NFL world all week. 2 unbeaten teams. You rarely see such a matchup this deep into a season.
I would agree with that because normally you might get one team undefeated for a while, but 2 teams like this, and I remember in preseason, you looked at schedules and said, I think these 2 are on a collision course. It'll be interesting to see if they actually get there, and they did. And to me, the winner of this game has to wear the crown of Super Bowl favorite.
Now Lutz for the field goal try. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this will remain a 1-touchdown game.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3, and this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over, and it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
A quick throw caught by Rice. 2nd and 10. Here's Mahomes to throw. A throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Alex Singleton make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
On 4th down, Tommy Townsend to punt for Kansas City. This is taken at about the 14. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Get a little closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw complete there to Johnson. And he will step out of bounds down near the 10-yard line. A big play there just before halftime. 45 yards.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
So now following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. Up the middle, it's Williams. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
What an advantage having a lead guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Here's Wilson. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Adam Troutman, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Broncos will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
You got to figure down by the goal line. This is where a tight end earns his money, in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And it's good to make it 14-0. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Chiefs going to go back on offense one final time in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
He'll check this one down to Pacheco. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Brings us 2nd and 9 at the 26-yard line.
And this time they'll just keep this on the ground. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and CD in a minute. First, it's time to take a look at what we've got coming your way this weekend in the NFL. A number of great games coming up this weekend, starting with the last of the 3 London games this year, the Colts and Ravens from Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. In the late afternoon games, all eyes will be on Las Vegas, a glitzy matchup there, where it'll be the Raiders taking on the New England Patriots. And then on Monday night, folks, you are in for a treat. They've got a good one lined up between the Dallas Cowboys and the LA Chargers. The highlights are fairly one-sided to this point. It's a 2-touchdown difference here at the break, but I wouldn't call this one over just yet. I think there could still be some fireworks yet to come. The final adjustments taking place here for both of these squads. They're about ready for the second half in Kansas City. And for the Colts, we rejoin Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. A 2-touchdown game, 14-0 to score as we get rolling again here in this second half. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. The Chiefs ready to go on offense to begin quarter number 3. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
They'll swing this out to Tony. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Randy Gregory in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. Fielded at about the 28. 13 yards the tally on the return there. And they will take over 1st and 10. So here are the Broncos to take over on offense. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. Wilson and the Broncos now with a 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Wilson. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Cortland Sutton, 59 yards. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Lutz with the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown.
Will Lutz set to kick off.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, give him 14.
Kansas City Chiefs. First and 10.
Mahomes now to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Oh, and one of the linebackers has got it.
And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
They'll hand it off now. Williams. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
On second down, Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Now they'll toss it out right to Williams. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown.
His 7th rushing touchdown, 11th overall. And the Broncos will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Well, they were looking to pick up the first down on 3rd and short. They got a little more than they bargained for, finding the end zone as well.
And oftentimes in short yardage situations, you get a lot of defenders stacked near the line of scrimmage, partner. So if you can get past that first wave, there's usually room to roam, and he found it.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that makes the score 28-0.
Will Lutz set to kick off.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
We're back now in KC. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Now Mahomes. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. So he stopped for no gain. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. They tried to swing it out left into the flat, but the defense, they were very principled there.
It felt very West Coast offense, didn't it? You know.
And the Broncos get there and take him down. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
Take it at the 37.
So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives. There he goes, right side. Down the sideline he goes, inside the 10. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Another touchdown here in the fourth quarter, and Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball and sometimes even your special teams, and that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Meanwhile, Mahomes' throw taken in by Valdez-Scantling. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first.
For our Kansas City Chiefs. First and 10.
Mahomes going to throw.
7-yard line.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete. He had to absorb another little bump there from the defense, another incomplete pass. We've seen a lot of that tonight.
They've come after him all night long. Nothing but pressure in his face. He's trying to stand up there and make throws. It's hard enough to do when the pocket is clear. When you got all those people in front of you, almost impossible to have a good completion percentage. I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a...
Oh, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Alex Singleton in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out. Here's the Chiefs punter now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. This is brought in at the 21. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Denver's offense now set to go as they try to finish things off in this 4th quarter. And that current 5-game win streak looking like it's going to go to 6. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Wilson wants to throw it. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Now a 2nd and 10. Throwing is Wilson. And that's caught inside the 35. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Well, when they said before the game that they were going to try and execute every second of this contest, I guess that was taken literally, because here they are in the final moments of the fourth, putting another touchdown on the board, Charles, to add to this big lead.
I'm not a big believer in 110%, but it certainly applies here, doesn't it? Because some guys just can't go with less. As long as there's time left on the clock, they're pushing to get to the end zone one more time. They don't really care about what the optics show. They just want to finish the game off the way that they like to play it. Full speed, all out.
Lutz with the extra point, and it is 42-0. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy two-play drive that time. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now, but as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it